So today, we're diving into a book that makes a pretty radical claim. It says it isn't just a book, but a living phenomenon. The author calls it a divine download. This incredible puzzle box that weaves together philosophy, quantum physics, and some really deep esoteric wisdom. The idea here is that just by engaging with it, you're taking a ride with the divine itself. And it's designed to literally change you as you read.
I mean, right off the bat, this quote just sets the stage for a totally unique experience. This isn't a book you're meant to just read, it's something you're meant to feel. The author claims it has this powerful frequency, a vibration that can actually rewrite the very code of your being. Its message is designed to expand every time you read it, becoming this living consciousness that you engage with, not just, understand with your mind.
And here it is, the central, most provocative idea in the whole book. Our world, as we understand it, is completely upside down. It argues that our fundamental grasp of reality, of ourselves, of creation, it's all a reversal of the actual truth. That we've been, as it says, beautifully and maybe even deliberately led astray.
Okay, so if everything we think we know is backward, where in the world do you even begin? Well, Katembo argues there's only one place to start, by solving the ultimate mystery of your own identity. This, he says, is the master key, the one that unlocks everything else.
And this question goes so much deeper than your name, your job, or your hobbies. The book is pushing us, really pushing us to ask, what is your fundamental essence? Who are you at your absolute core, at the soul level? Because getting this right isn't just some abstract philosophy. It's the absolute bedrock of all creation.
Now, this is where the book makes a really critical distinction. We're usually taught that we're human beings who happen to have a spirit. Katembo flips that completely, insisting that we're spiritual beings who are having a human experience. And according to the book, this isn't just playing with words. It's a monumental shift in perspective that explains that restless, nagging feeling we all have to expand and become more.
So how do you actually grasp this new identity? The book lays out a really clear path. First, there's knowing. That's just gathering facts, acquiring information. Then comes understanding. This is the art of seeing the patterns and the connections in all that knowledge. And finally, you get to wisdom, the peak, which is the ability to actually use that knowledge and understanding to take the right action and make discerning choices. It's a journey from data to discernment.
And this quote right here, it points to the final destination of that journey. Katembo is arguing that every single one of us carries a divine spark, a pure seed of the Creator. The reason this incredible truth might elude us isn't because it's not real. No. He suggests it's because we just haven't fully, truly embraced it.
Okay, so if we really are these powerful spiritual beings, how does that creative power actually work? The next part of the book gets right into it, drawing this unbreakable line between your inner world of thought and feeling and the outer world you experience every day.
The book breaks it down into this beautiful three-step process. It all starts with thought. That's the unseen blueprint, the raw material for everything. That thought is then given form through the word, the sound, the vibration, the frequency that starts shaping reality. And finally, it all culminates in action, the tangible physical world we can see and touch.
And get this idea of the word is so incredibly powerful. The book claims that for a creator, there are no idle words, no throwaway comments. Every single word you speak has creative power. You are literally speaking your reality into being, whether you realize it or not.
And that's exactly why the book reframes the law of attraction into the much more active law of creation. See, you're not just a passive magnet attracting things to you. You are the generator, the genesis, the author of your story. Your outer world is just a perfect mirror, reflecting back the deep-seated beliefs and conversations you're having inside your own mind.
Look, if that sounds a little abstract, this analogy brings it right back down to earth. It's so simple. If you plant thoughts and speak words of lack, of limitation, of fear, you just can't expect to turn around and harvest a reality of abundance, freedom, and joy. The harvest will always match the seed. No exceptions.
Okay, but wait a minute. If it's really that simple, why are so many of us struggling? Why isn't everyone living their dream life? This is where the book dives into its most challenging, most provocative ideas.
what it calls the hidden forces and programs that keep us from realizing our true power.
The book poses this really unsettling question. What if the recipe for life that we've been given has been changed? What if the knowledge we have has been manipulated with half-truths, designed to create these little loops and dead ends, where there should be doorways to our own quantum leaps?
All right, and this is where things get really controversial. The author alleges that humanity has been influenced by what he calls galactic beings who tampered with our existence and basically put us inside a hidden matrix. He puts forward this idea that there are specific programs, like a poverty program, and that the suppression of sacred science are all meant to keep humanity in a lower vibration, which makes us easier to control.
To make his point, Katembo uses this famous quote to argue that our real struggles aren't with each other. He suggests they are orchestrated by these unseen heavenly principalities, that they're the ones who actually benefit from keeping humanity disconnected, both from our true power and from each other.
Wow. And this next metaphor, it's maybe the most chilling one in the entire book. It suggests our focus is being deliberately misdirected. We're taught to spend our whole lives fearing the obvious enemy, the wolf, while completely trusting the very one who ultimately consumes us, the shepherd. It's a powerful and pretty visceral illustration of hidden control.
Okay, so that sounds pretty intense, right? A little bleak, even. But the book absolutely does not leave you there. After laying out the problem in such stark terms, it gives you a clear, actionable roadmap for breaking free, for waking up from what it calls the bad dream.
And right at the heart of this roadmap is one simple number, 90. The book proposes a 90-day practical challenge. It's designed for you to test all these principles for yourself. The author's point isn't to demand that you believe him blindly. It's an open dare. It says, don't just take my word for it. Try it. See if it works.
So what do you do during these 90 days? Well, you're guided through a series of daily rituals. You actively cultivate an attitude of gratitude, focusing on the abundance you already have. You practice giving and serving, which taps into the universal law of flow. You learn to live in the feeling of your desires as if they're already here, and you use repetition daily to overwrite those old, limiting programs with new, empowering ones.
And in the end, after all the talk about outside forces, the book brings it all right back home, to us. It concludes that the biggest barrier, the only true sin holding us back, is our own reluctance, our refusal to see ourselves for who we truly are, and to take up our rightful position as creators with dominion over our own lives.
And so, that leaves us with this one final, incredibly powerful question. The book lays down the map, it explains the rules of the game, and it hands you the keys. It asserts that you're not just a piece in the game, you are the game. You are the creator. So, if that's true, what will you choose to create next?